The weakest hunter alive walked into an E-rank gate at the back of the line, carrying other people's gear. By the end of the day, 4 hunters would owe him their lives, and not one of them would ever know it. The gate on the riverside had been rated E. Routine. Route. A mid-tier guild team drew the clear out, and rank 0 drew the porter's job. Haul the gear, stay out of the way, and do not die. Garrett Voss led the front, bright blue magic flaring off his hands for a crowd that was not there. To Voss, the porter was furniture. To Theo, Voss was a library he had not finished reading. There was a medic with him too, a quiet support hunter whose hands glowed soft green when someone bled. Theo had never been close enough to watch one work. Day he would be. Inside, the gate was a drowned stone undercity, wet and lightless. Even an E-rank gate is no place for a normal man. Everything that lived here was stronger, faster, and hungrier than anyone unawakened. The first swarm came up out of the water. Gloomlings. Knee-high, gray, and vicious in a pack. The front line met them with steel and spell. This is the part the broadcast back home never show. That clearing a gate is loud and wet, and that people get hurt. A young frontliner went down with a gloomling shiv buried in his thigh, screaming over the water. The medic was there in a breath, green light pouring from their palms. And Theo, hauling a pack 10 feet back, finally saw it. Not the glow everyone saw, the weave underneath it. He read it the way he read everything, the exact shape of how a wound is told to close. And quietly, at the back of the line, the weakest hunter alive learned to heal. It came to him the way every copy did. Weak. A flicker that might close a scratch. To make it real, he would have to drill it for months, and every hour spent on healing was an hour stolen from the earth and fire that kept him breathing. He wanted it badly, so he banked it and waited. And chose. They pushed deeper. The swarm had been the easy part. Something had been watching them since the water. It did not swarm. It waited. The rear scout simply stopped being there. No sound. No cry. One moment a hunter. The next a dropped lamp spinning on wet stone. By the time they realized one of them was gone, the dark had taken a second. A gloom-stalker, an ambush killer that swallows sound and light with claws that open a man like a coat. The formation broke. Voss's fire lit nothing but empty stone. Theo did not run. He watched. A thing that hunts by a racing sound has to break cover to strike, and when it broke for the medic, he was already 3 steps ahead of it. The way he was always, quietly, 3 steps ahead. He did not throw a spell. He moved a stone. A single wet slab under the stalker's launching paw tilted a finger's width, and the perfect silent pounce skidded half a foot wide. The medic lived, certain they had simply slipped at the right moment. The stalker shrieked in fury and was gone again into the dark. But a gloom-stalker is not stupid. It learned the medic was guarded by something it could not see. So it changed targets. It went for the loudest, brightest, most arrogant thing in the room. Voss never saw it coming. The guild's golden boy, about to die in the dark with no audience at all. Theo could have let it happen. No one would ever know, but a dead Voss meant a failed gate, an inquiry. Eyes, and eyes were the one thing he could not afford. So he saved the man who tormented him, and made sure it looked like the man saved himself. A spark smaller than a match bloomed in the lamp oil Voss had spilled from his own flask moments before. Flame leapt up between hunter and claw at the exact half-second that mattered. The stalker reared back from the fire, onto the cracked ledge. Theo had marked the moment they walked in. One more nudge, one loose stone. The apex predator of that gate went over the edge into the black water, shrieking, and did not come back up. Voss straightened, breathing hard, and decided, out loud, to everyone, that his fire had driven the beast off the ledge. The team cheered him. Theo shouldered a fallen pack and said nothing. Theo had taken a graze of his own in the chaos, a shallow line across his forearm. In the dark, where no one watches the porter, he pressed his hand to it and called up the flicker he had stolen an hour before. It barely worked. The bleeding slowed, the wound half closed, and it stung like fire. Useless in a real fight, but it was his now. And one day, when he could finally train it. It would be the thing that let him take hits no one else could survive. They walked out of the Riverside Gate at dusk. Report would read, 1 E-rank gate cleared, 2 hunters lost, the rest saved by quick thinking and Garrett Voss's heroics. Every word of it was a lie, and only one person in the whole deal was starting to notice. The lies all had the same shape, that wherever the portal went, people got lucky. That night, in a cramped apartment, Theo added one line to a notebook no one would ever read. A third skill, copied, untrained, waiting. He looked at it a long time. Then he went back to drilling earth and fire because the weak survive by being patient. He thought he had gotten away clean. He always did, so he did not notice the woman with the tablet waiting by the guild gate the next morning until she fell into step beside him. She did not look at him the way the others did. She looked at him like a question she had already half answered. "Theo," she said, "we need to talk." The most invisible man in the guild had just been seen.